What's good, YouTube? Today's video is about whether or not you need to go to college. And I think you need to go to college for the right reasons. And when you go to college, don't be closed-minded. Now, a lot of people go to college and they just kind of fumble through. They meet a few people and then that's about that. But they don't experience college. And what I mean by that is that they don't meet the vast amount of people that are at the school. And no, I don't mean that you'll meet everyone, but you can meet a lot of people, right? When you go to college, there's more than just the books to learn. There's culture, there's people, there's events, there's always something going on. I can almost promise you that if you go to, whether you go to a community college, a 4-year college, whether you even go to a smaller college where it's just kind of like your college is very specific and you don't have a huge campus, there are still events and things where you get involved with other cultures, right? And that's why I think people should go to college. Now, should you go to college for a degree? Maybe. I won't say degrees don't matter, because to some people, having your degree is a requirement for the career that you want. I don't want a doctor or a surgeon, let's just take it to the extreme. I don't want a surgeon who's going to cut me open and leave it to just something that he looked up on the internet. I would want someone who's had practice, someone who has experience, someone who's, studied up for this for a few years, and this is what they know. Someone who's been put through the test, right? That's somebody I would want to have gone to school. Someone who does my taxes. I don't think you need a degree. Someone who runs through an accounting department. Maybe not necessarily a master's degree. Maybe an associate's should be fine. And that's about it, right? What I've been finding is that a lot of people are going to college these days and they have no idea what they're going to college for. They're just like, college is the way to go. I'm going to college. Boom, done. And there's plenty of people who get into college, and there's plenty of people who fail out of college because they've just been there for years. I know plenty of people who've been in college for over 10 years and have still not graduated or are still going back because they just have no idea what it is that they want to do with their degree or with their lives or just whatever. And also, let me just start off this video by saying congratulations to anyone who made it to college. If going to college was something that you had looked forward to, congratulations. Enjoy the time that you are in college and enjoy the people that you're around. Now, let me also follow that up with saying the time that you spend in college is mostly BS. It's not BS because of what you're doing there, because maybe every day that you get up, you got something to do. Maybe you're part of a bunch of different groups and you are making the most of your college experience. That's not the part that I mean. There are a lot of courses and there are a lot of things that you do in college to get a certain degree that don't matter. I can't count on one hand how many courses I took to get my degree that don't matter. But I can count on one hand the courses that I took to get my degree that did matter. 4 is the number. And 2 of them are related to my major. I got a computer science degree. And so My major milestone classes, my first computer science programming class and my last computer science programming class were the only two important ones. Everything in the middle, fluff, just extra BS to take your money, right? And then the other two, we'll get into that in just a little bit. So, what you major in, or like before you go to college or before you make the decision to stay in school, think about what it is that you want to do and if that degree is even worth going to school for. I know a lot of people who, just receive degrees and they can't do anything with their degrees. Like, I know people with, psychology degrees who don't plan on going back for a master's degree, and they know that it's pointless. And then I know two people with a psychology degree who plan on going back for their master's, and that can be extremely lucrative, right? But those people who don't want to pursue their psychology degrees, I won't say that degree is wasted, because now you can go into a master's program and, go into something else, and you only need to take the prerequisites for something, or whatever course it was, or whatever major you want now. But it was mostly unnecessary. I used to work with this guy who had a master's degree in accounting. Now, keep in mind, I work with this guy. I'm a software developer. Why are me and this guy on the same team? It's a skill that he picked up. As a developer, you meet a lot of different people. You meet a lot of different developers in the sense, and they have all kinds of degrees. I met one guy with an art history degree, an amazing front end developer. He was so talented with JavaScript and CSS. It was beyond me. But he picked that up through high school. It was just something that he dabbled in. He had fun with it, and so he continued it. His art history degree, his parents made it. Okay, they didn't pay for it though. So his parents made him go to college when right out of high school he could have got a development job. Waste of time and money, and so that brings me to another point that I want to re-bring in those 4 classes that I took. That third class was a math class that I took. And in that math class, I think it was Calc 1, right? And I was with one of my math teachers after class, and we were just kind of kicking it, talking about shit. And I remember this guy very vividly because he is extremely funny. And he also looked like the bearded dude from The Hangover. I think his name's Zach Galifianakis. I'll put his name here if I'm wrong later. But the guy was extremely funny. And so we hashed it out for a little while, and then at the end of that conversation, he hit me with just one-liner. It's just, why are you in this class? I was doing fine in the class, but he was just you don't seem to care. And I don't give a fuck about calculus. I was just in it because it was on the list of courses that I needed to take to get my degree. So I took it. But he was just kind of if this class does nothing for you, maybe you're pursuing the wrong degree, or maybe you're doing something wrong. And that stuck with me. And so, he was a really chill guy, and he didn't seem to have a care in the world, but he was working on his PhD in mathematics because that was just what he loved. Now, he just liked crunching numbers. All right. I mean, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to solve problems. I mean, regardless of, you know, who's looking for the answers to these problems, he wanted to solve them. And so that guy, I think at the time he was like maybe 27, working on his PhD in math. So if you can wrap around the time that it takes you to get your bachelor's degree, right? So most people don't know this just yet, or like don't know this as soon as they get out of high school. So they go to high school, they go to college at 18, 4 years of college, and you maybe get some degree, right? Maybe you'll work for a year or two, maybe you won't, who knows? Then you've got your master's degree, which can take you another 2 years, right? By that time, you're 24, and then you go directly into your PhD program, right? And so a PhD program is a required 4 years. It is a dedication that you do when you go to college. Or when you go back for your PhD, you are then a doctor in that subject matter. There is very few people who know more than you in that subject matter if you have a PhD. And so keep that in mind. This man was on his 3rd or 4th year of a PhD in mathematics, and he was a brilliant guy. But he was also extremely laid back. You know, you would think someone who's getting like their PhD in math is either like some, you know, weirdo in a cave somewhere, or just kind of, I don't know, just someone really old working on that degree, or maybe someone in their like mid-30s. But no, this guy was like, I'm not gonna put his name in here because in case he sees this, I don't want him to feel bad, but he knows exactly who I'm talking about if he sees this. This dude was like your standard like weed head dude with his PhD, well, almost with his PhD. He already had a master's, so think about that. He just liked it. And so I gave you this long backstory to try and explain to you what passion can do to push forward your career or your life or going to school. Don't go to school because you think it's the next step in life. Go to school to expand who you are, to grow as a person, to learn things. If you can, go to school far away. Like if you live, you know, in Africa, go to school in Europe. If you live in the United States, go to school in Mexico or something. Go where the culture is completely different, and then see what you think about that. But I'm BanKaiMike, and I'll see you guys next time.